Hello, everybody! BeMetalways here. Welcome to another weekly heavy metal album review. This week I'm reviewing At the Gates, and the album is The Nightmare of Being, released by Century Media Records on July 2nd, 2021. Now, let's talk about At the Gates. Of course, the Swedish melodic Gothenburg style death metal pioneers were initially active from 1990 to 1996, reforming in 2007 for a tour between April and September 2008. They were inactive for a while again, but in 2011 they reformed again and have since continued to perform live and also recording albums because they released At War with Reality, their first album in 19 years back in late 2014. This album is one of the best comeback metal albums in metal history in my opinion, and it was my top album of 2014. It is a slick and some may say too well produced album. And why do I say that? Because To Drink from the Night itself from 2018 was a response to At War with Reality because it's a dirty and grittier album. It was also the first album written and recorded without lead guitarist and primary songwriter Anders Björler, who departed in 2017. He was since being replaced by Stallhammer. Now, let's talk about The Nightmare of Being, which opens with a very proggy feel. Spectre of Extinction takes 1.5 minutes to become a trademark At the Gates song in the veins of their comeback album At War with Reality. The Nightmare of Being, which features 10 songs in 45 minutes, was mixed and mastered by Jens Bogren, who had previously worked on the At War with Reality album. And that's why I think it sounds quite a bit like that album. And while at first listen without too much attention, you may think it's pretty much the same as that album, upon more spinning sessions you realize the incorporation of progressive elements. But, they still sound like themselves because those progressive elements, with a few exceptions, feel like a bit glued into their songs and not really part or mixed within their songs. It feels like, oh, let's do a little bit of prog section here, and then the song continues as a regular At the Gates song. The most obvious example of the proggy elements is Garden of Cyrus, which features a slow build-up and a saxophone in it. Yes, you heard me right. At the Gates is going very Pink Floyd or King Crimson in that song. The song also takes 3 minutes with the instrumental and spoken words before Thomas Lindberg delivers his well-known vocals. For that reason, it brings back that At the Gates sound. Another curved ball follows with Touched by the White Hands of Death, and it's a 1 minute long orchestral part straight out of a film score. But then you don't have to get fooled by that because the following 3 minutes are just pure At the Gates energy and sound. So it's just like that intro kind of out of place in a way, in my opinion. Then The Fall into Time, the longest song on the album, again relies on the long epic intro before turning into a mid-tempo mellow death song that we know. But in this case, the song also features a long proggy mid-instrumental section that reminds me of modern prog bands such as Intronaut. Other songs are pure classic At the Gates, such as The Paradox and Cult of Salvation. Now, if I'm being picky here, one song that worries me is Cosmic Pessimism. It reminds me a lot of the period when In Flames was transitioning from Melodeath masters into alt-rock wannabes. I certainly hope I'm very wrong about this, but it is an area of concern, of course. As I mentioned, the other problem with the album is indeed that it tries to be proggy, but it doesn't really fuse the progginess into their songs. It's kind of like, let's do a little bit of proggy section here and then we continue the song as we always were doing. While all the other songs are good and the album flows well, The Nightmare of Being never really brought a wow factor in me. So I don't think I'll be going back to this album often. But I do think that some of those songs will fit well their set list. And if you put them in the middle of their great and classic songs, will probably go well. It makes hard to rate an album in those conditions, but I'm still giving it 80 out of 100, a good album. I still think that they are really missing their main songwriter and are having difficulty to compose and write those memorable songs from their initial albums, and definitely from Slaughter of the Souls, but also At War with Reality was an amazing album in my opinion, and they haven't been able to be there with this new lineup. Most of the fans will find interesting and fun songs here, but I don't think it will really impress many of us. All right, so thanks for being here, for listening, and BeMetalways.